Hello, and welcome to the finale of my 2023 Inktober series. It's been a fun yet very long road. I narrowly escaped burnout by working on some exciting side projects, of which you'll get a glimpse of so long as you tune in on Halloween. We're beginning the end with the prompt mask. I wasn't super thrilled with the way the sketch of this looked, but once stamped, it turned out looking rather cool. I was going for a partial mask such as the one you see in Phantom of the Opera, but in one of those simplified continuous line art styles. Oh boy, chains. This one kind of stumped me. I had a few ideas that ultimately just didn't work out, but then I settled on a broken link, which honestly looked better in my head. But considering the size of which I'm carving upon, it looks pretty dang good. Although, if you weren't aware it was a chain, it might not be immediately apparent. Throughout this venture, I've learned that the itty-bitty details like splatters or these broken chunks of the chain can be quite challenging to carve due to their quantity and size. So it did end up looking a bit messy, but my neck is grateful that we are moving on to Moonlight, which is, well, it's pretty straightforward. I carved a satisfying little moon accompanied by a couple of trees. Yep, that's pretty much it. On to Shadow. This design is based on my favorite game ever, Hollow Knight, of which I regrettably have yet to complete. I've been working on beating the Radiance for months now, and it's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster. If you've played the game, you'd understand the daunting challenge it presents. Anyways, that's why I drew our little shadow friend here, because I cannot seem to live through this final battle. The next prompt we have is Snake, which I'll admit I just made this one up because I just wanted to draw a funky little snake. Having recently rewatched Beetlejuice, I decided to do a striped snake. I was a bit hesitant to attempt to carve the actual sandworm from the movie due to the eraser's size. I just didn't think it would be able to capture its heads or mouths effectively. Thus, why we have this little striped snake. Sixthly, we have Beast, of which I drew a little character of mine called Cthulhu. While you haven't been properly introduced to Cthulhu, you can get in on this project by becoming a patron, where you can enjoy exclusive benefits and occasional snail mail. Next we have Sparkle. This design is quite simple, but it was a no-brainer for me to include a reference to quite possibly the dearest movie to my heart. I'll never forget the first time I watched Your Name, and I'll certainly never forget the anxiety etched on my fiance's face as we approached the end of the movie. If you haven't seen this masterpiece, I highly recommend it, even if you're not typically into anime. Drawing nearer, we have Cosmic, and what could be more of a cosmic being than Bill Cipher himself? Oh yeah, lots of references in this video. I simply could not come up with an idea of my own. I think this is a pretty self-explanatory design, unless you have no clue who this is or what absolute horrors this little triangle has the ability to unleash. The official prompt for this day was Rush, of which I thought it would be appropriate to attribute this to a postage stamp. Yet, ironically, I chose to put a totally 100% original character on said stamp to create snail mail, which up until recently I thought was still a relevant term, but apparently that phrase is particularly outdated. Oh well. We move on to the final design, Fire. What do you know? The references don't end here. My brain is full of nostalgia and media. So here's my take on the lovable Calcifer. Honestly, I didn't think I could pull off this specific design in stamp form, but somehow I did it. Overall, I really enjoyed the process of lino cutting, and I'm happy to report that I will be continuing to make prints this way. I'll stick to black and white for the time being, however, I'm also eager to experiment with color blocks. I'd like to take some time before the end of the video to give you my thanks for making it to the end of this video and watching the series as a whole. Don't forget to tune in on Halloween for a very special video. Now, let's reveal the fruits of my labor. And if you enjoy my content and would like to support me further, please consider becoming a patron or even visiting my website. Thank you.